Kind of, yes. Right. First things first, there is one that I have seen people, and I have tried it myself, where you put cling film over the loo. You make sure, go and look it up because I'm not telling you how. I tried it once, it didn't work, and I'm never trying it again. I wish I'd worn a face mask is all I'll say. Generally, if there is space between the top of the loo and the level where the water is for a bucket of water, get a bucket of hot water, stand and pour it from a height so that the water is hitting there. Don't do that if there's anything biohazardous in the pan because it might splash. But sometimes that's enough to form a weight and push a blockage round and down. Sometimes just letting it go down, flushing, letting it go down will work. Or go and buy a plunger. They're not expensive and B&Q is currently open. You might need a plumber to get a snake down. Now, the one thing I'm going to give you the warning about here is chemical unblockers. In a block lavatory, don't forget you've got the loo and it goes down, and then you've got the U-bend that goes out and up and out the wall. There's a lot of water. If the blockage is past the bottom of the U-bend, which usually you can put a glove on, like a carving glove on your hand to shove, which is another option. But that means there's a large volume of water, and if the blockage is as far back as the soil part, that can be several gallons. Chemical unblocker will be diluted to a degree and might not reach the blockage to work, especially not if the blockage is further back towards the soil pipe. And therefore it won't work. But what it will do is settle probably in the bottom and make it almost impossible or unsafe for a plumber to run a snake down. So don't do that. The other thing is, and I've seen it happen, is somebody used some very standard unblocker, like caustic soda, down the loo, poured a load down, it didn't work. They left it overnight, it didn't work. They then called in somebody else who said, oh, I've got the stuff, and came up with some heavy-duty unblocker, which was nitric acid, and poured it down the loo. Exothermic reaction, the loo cracked, blew up the loo, and then we should get stuff everywhere, so don't do that. But if that doesn't work, you're going to need a proper plumber with a snake, and that's a thing that goes down and round and up. And to be honest, you can do it yourself. I've always found the bigger snake, you'd need a heavy-duty snake, not the little one you use for that. It's a bit of a, like, you'd have to go and buy it anyway. So, yeah. Sometimes, if it's just loo roll, usually flushing, letting it go down, flushing, letting it down. After a while, it works its way down. Either somebody's been using wipes or wet loo roll, or the worst blockage I've ever had was a bar of soap that had got put down the loo by a very small person. Please keep soap out of the reach of toddlers. They love chucking it down the loo. But yeah, give it a go. But like I said, plungers aren't expensive and B&Q's open. I'd go and get a plunger and rubber gloves.